Just gonna go ahead and get started, man.
Baseline.
Hey. Yeah. What the fuck is Yeah. What he doing? Yeah. Why? Cause it's the Porch Podcast. Come on, huh? And it's the Porch Podcast. Yeah. And it's the Porch Podcast. Come on. Look. It's the Porch Podcast. Porch Podcast. Episode 80. Porch Podcast. Coming through in Mercedes, maybe. Some dudes a little lazy. I'm dropping jewels daily. Influential baby. Back to the flow. Yeah, we're back to the dough. And back to the rhymes, yo. Freestyle fanatic doing what I want. She like to see me from the front. Let me get right back. I'm the illest. But to put it on the map. And I trap, stack. I like to see P reaction. Things not satisfaction. You know why? Why? Cause this the Porch Podcast. Come on. And it's the Porch Podcast, and I'm hot. Yes, I'm the Porch Podcast, and y'all not. And it's the Porch Podcast. Let's go. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy, DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
Be original, baby.
Yeah, you did some robot shit. I don't know why. What's going on?
Hey, I'm trying to see what's going on, bruh. I'm trying to see. You sound a little body too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. Hey, man, they're trying to do what they can, man. They're trying to do what they can to make a difference in what we're talking about, man.
Right. Well, I'm not just going to say that they're trying to do what they can to make a difference. They miss us. They miss us sitting back and forth from each other. But however, this is episode 80. We call this one Jules.
Absolutely, man. Episode 80, Jules. Hey, man. There's nothing like a good jewel, man. Nothing like something that just, gives you that, like you said before in the previous episode, the aha.
That
moment.
paradigm shift.
It's a beautiful thing. Sometimes, though, no matter how shiny and polished, and unique you can make a jewel look, people will just not take them.
Right.
People will just not take them, man. You can make something look amazing.
Right.
You can make something look like, it's something from another planet.
So what are you saying is shine shit? You can shine shit and it can be a jewel sometimes?
No. Well, let me tell
Okay,
you
good.
something.
Let's make sure we're not talking about that.
I gotta figure this robot, man. He's kind of driving me crazy.
It ain't doing it on this end.
Okay,
so,
cool. But listen, let me do this though. Let me do this.
All right.
First off, no.
Is your cell phone near you?
Nah, that's why you see me there. When you ask me, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's what that was about.
Okay, cool.
Okay. What's going to wind up happening is somebody's going to call, and when they call and I reject it, it clears it right up. So I kind of know what's going on. I think it's multi-connected right now. I think that's part of the problem. Anyway, getting right down to it, you can't shine up, mess and say that it's a jewel. Right. You can't. But in the same token, you can't get jewels to everybody.
Right.
I just realized that. You know what I mean? You'll find yourself sometimes banging your head up against, like I said to you before in another episode, up against the wall. You'll find yourself, in a situation where you're trying to, once again, clear things. You know what I mean? You're trying to get things clear. I'm trying to get it together so I can, I didn't get to the phone, so blase.
Yeah, to the blizzy.
Right. So I got to figure out what's going on with this real quick, though. Hold on.
Yeah, P over there, he don't know what he doing. He think he's an engineer. Look at him. Looking crazy. Yeah, I hear you, brother. Yep.
All right, let me see something real quick, man.
You good. I don't know what you... It might be the cocaine sitting there. Because you good. I don't... No.
Okay, can you hear me?
Not, that ain't it. That definitely ain't it. That's definitely not it.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good on this end. I'm telling you, you all right.
No, but I'm saying I'm trying to understand some of what you say. So it's kind of like difficult. Anyway, man, look. We ain't going to lose no step. Like I said, this is one of them jewels that I learned a while ago. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't sweat the technique.
Don't sweat the small stuff. You know what I'm saying? We are what we are, and we're doing what we're doing. We're gonna make the best out of the situation. That was a jewel we got a long time ago. One of the best jewels we got from Pop, in my opinion. We got a ton of
Right.
them.
Right.
We got enough from Pop, man, to open up a jewelry store.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one of
Yep.
the ones that I can remember he said, son, the more you know, the less you do, the more you make.
Right.
Took me a little time because I'm not going to act like I was fully equipped mentally to be able to accept that and understand exactly what that meant. But something told me, just put it in the box. Just put it in the box. At some point or another, you're going to go in that box just like it's a jewelry box. And that jewel going to make sense to you.
Right.
And he was absolutely right in my opinion. So anyway, that's where we at, man. Jumping into this box of jewels, man. Talking about how people accept it willingly. Some people you gotta dress the jewel up a different way so that they get more clarity on it. Some people gotta realize that every jewel, like a diamond, isn't going to be flawless.
Right.
It does come with some effort and some energy on both parts.
Right.
But
how I sound now?
I can manage it. I can definitely hear you. I can understand you clear.
I don't know what you got going on.
Nah, I think it's exactly what I was saying earlier. It's a combination between it trying to be connected to more than one thing. But anyway, bruh, like you said, we are talking about jewels this episode. What's one of the most famous jewels that you can remember, whether it was from Pop or somebody else? And all
Don't
your
count
jewels
the
ain't got to
days,
come from
make the
old
days
heads.
count.
Oh, that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, absolutely. Another one, man. That's another one. Mine used to have a lot of them little different signs and stuff all around the house.
Right.
We was always lucky enough to kind of grow up in an environment where, no matter where you went, there was something that had some kind of phrase or saying, or, a quote from something, which is why I believe right now I've worked so hard to do so much dealing with these quotes of the day and my food for thoughts. I think that was so much heavy of our upbringing, that it's just part of me, man. I think it was all grooming and developing for like this moment right now, man.
For this moment.
And
give me a clap for my vocals, man.
Nah, I ain't gonna kick you while you down. E, something wrong with you, man. And
something wrong.
Okay, well, for you to just do what you just did just now, and really, where's the angle going with that?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, But anyway, E, okay, so don't count the days, make the days count. How many times have you ever, whether you're talking about work environment, somewhere in your community, your homies, man, somebody, how many times have you ever looked at a person and said, you know what, I do got a jewel to say to him right now, but I'm going to hold up for now. I ain't going to give it to him right
Several
now.
times.
Why was that your response? Like, why did you take that approach? Like,
because of the simple fact, I don't know how they're going to receive it. Sometimes I don't think they're actually, they may not actually be ready for it. You see what I'm saying? And if they're not ready for it, they're going to always judge you off of that being that person at the time. So it's like, you ever had some people that you drop jewels with, and when they're not ready for it, then every time you come up, they got a jewel. Here go this smart, think he know everything, nigga, right here. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So I'll give you a perfect example. I remember when it's all perception on how you look at things. I remember one time somebody was having a conversation with, and it was back when Steve Harvey was, wrote Think like a man, act like a woman, think like a man. He wrote the book. And somebody was like, he's sitting here, man, he in like his third marriage. Man, how you gonna sit here and try to give people marriage advice and think he know what he talking about? His ain't even right. I said, because one, it's a business, it's a hustle. But two, he could really be telling you the opposite of the things that he did in his previous ones. You see what I'm saying? Like, you ever, I'm not talking about relationships or marriage, but you ever did something, bro, or was involved with something that you wanted to do before, that you were doing before, mess it up. But because you messed it up, you learned the lesson, and now you share Now don't go that route because that ain't it. That ain't it, bro. Like I did that and that I wasn't successful with that. You ever did that with somebody?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
have, I
hmm
have, I have.
So that's how I
I
seen
mean,
Steve Harvey in that situation. But go ahead. I'm
oh,
sorry.
okay.
See what I'm
No, no,
saying?
no, 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 no. What you saw was something that sometimes we look at sources and we kind of contest their credibility based on their current
Right.
and because currently especially what you see on the surface seems to be in opposition of what they're trying to give you some advice or a jewel on. You kind of question the credibility, like whether you knew them long term or not, or like me and you, we don't know Steve Harvey personally, but I'm not going to turn around and act as if he couldn't say something that wouldn't make sense,
Right.
because it would make sense. Everybody gets these like everything that we talk about, bro. We didn't personally experience some things that we experienced on the outside of the situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then there's other things that we experience firsthand that you know we rather not have another person that we can help in that situation and go through, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody don't bounce back the same too. Like there's certain things that we go through, and everybody not built to be able to survive those things,
Mm-mm.
and everybody's not willing to commit to the changes sometimes that you got to go through. So the jewels have to match with that person's like mindset at that time, and everybody's mindset isn't always equipped for the right, but it's for the same jewels,
Right. That's
which is
that's my
why that's the
that's
point. I see what you're
that's
saying.
my point where I'm going with it because if I don't think they're ready for it yet, regardless, even when they're ready, 90% of the time they're gonna still look. They're gonna still remember the time when they weren't ready for it.
Right.
So they're not gonna hear me. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, like you ever give somebody some understanding and knowledge of some situations, and then they don't listen, and then when it happens, majority of the time they never come back and say, "Yo, I should have listened to you when you was telling me." That rarely happens.
Yeah. Or or if it does happen, right, it's funny because it'll come back like this. It'll be, you know what, man, you was right.
Right.
Right? Or if it does come back, they'll be like, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna follow your advice, man, and then I got in there and I did this, that, and the third. It's always some form of, underlying acknowledgement, which in reality, usually the person who's giving the jewel, they don't require that. Like I don't require you to say to me like, yo, I was right, because all the variables just fell in line for that situation. The right thing happened. It ain't about me being right. The right thing happened.
Right. Right.
And so just embrace
Because
that element of it. I don't need to
if
be right.
if it had went the way that they wanted to go, then they would never come back and say, "I should have listened to you."
Right.
See, a lot of people sometimes learn jewels in hindsight, but that's the reason why we did this episode to explain to you. Just because, don't knock a jewel, just because it may not be for you at the present time or for you
Right.
ever. Just take the advice and go with it. You know what I mean? We all got shit that we don't need,
You right.
physical things that we don't need, and what we always say, I might need this one day.
Yeah.
Treat the jewel the
Yeah.
same way. I might need this one day. So this information he gave me, I'm gonna hold this because I might need it one day. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I got it. Because
Exactly.
people remember things whether it was something that was real good or it was something that was stupid. People always remember it.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. So because you're already up against the unknowns, a lot of times, like for instance, well, whether you're faith based person or not, but a lot of times we'll put things into the universe by power of the tongue, right? So we'll say certain things and we'll say what our heart is desiring. And more often than not, we will talk ourselves right out of certain situations
Right.
because of the fact that, we can't get all of the answers at one time,
Right.
right? So a jewel may come along. A jewel may be in the form of just deal with today. Tomorrow has already got to, you got to conquer tomorrow if you're blessed enough to get there. So when people say things like that, they be like, "Oh, well, man, you just moving out on faith, or you don't believe in, like, or you do believe, but you just think you're gonna be lucky." And it's like, nah, it's not about luck. It's just about the reality that if tomorrow isn't here yet, how can I put the energy into tomorrow that's not here yet?
Right.
So, it's like a tightrope walk between, either you're a person like 50 said a while ago, if you're gonna pray, don't worry. But if you're gonna worry, don't pray. So it's like
Yeah.
sometimes when you get like, and that was a jewel within itself because they're contradictive. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not saying that you can't have any kind of question, but the moment that you stop questioning most things and you deal with the reality that it is and you do what needs to be done in those moments or the best of your ability, that's when the clarity comes full circle.
Full circle.
So, you know what I mean? Like, just consistently trying to figure out different things. Like, like I had a conversation, and it might have been in reference of, yo, man, I need my kids to start stepping up to the plate. Start taking more responsibility, start doing more things independently.
Right.
And in the moment the situation of independence comes up, I'll be like, yo, you need me to drop you off? Yo, you need me to do this, that for you? Yo, you need me to pick that part up? And I'm sitting there being contradictory to the situation. And the jewel was already in the presence of me just needing to fall back and understand that, you got to give a person an opportunity to experience some things and go through some things. So jewels look different. Sometimes we'll get them because somebody's giving them to us. And sometimes we'll have them internally and just choose to not treat them like jewels.
Jewels.
So you just gotta figure out which angle you want to take on the situation, man. You gotta understand that. And I think that we get older. That's like if you ever notice you talk to a person that's seasoned, man. They'll get ready to tell a person something. They say, you know what, young brother, you go ahead and do it your way, then, man. And somebody may turn around and be like, damn,
wait. How they say it again?
You know what, young brother, you go ahead and do it your way, man. And hit you with this right. See this right here, eh? This right here. When this goes up and it come back down, they done with it.
How you know this so well? That's what you do.
Think about this right now. If L Boog came outside and he looked outside and he looked at the grass or he looked at something that was outside and he went like this. What do you think that means, man?
He get it tomorrow.
Either that or he done with it or he disappointed with it. I could trip over it, but you know what? That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And he learned something along the way. You know what I mean? You know how many times I've went to go and help somebody or say something to somebody
and they hit
and
you
walk
with
away from the situation? Yeah, they done did that. They've done that.
Yeah.
And if they didn't do that, their actions did that. Nothing. I mean, because most of the time, I know my brother, man. I don't become demented in the mind and nothing like I can't wait for it to fail.
Nah, I know my brother, but you just be the most. All right, man. All right. Well, that's shit. I don't care. That's yours.
Cause I'll be fronting if I sat up here and said that every time somebody.
And I know my brother, man.
Two finger throwdown that I was just accepting of it. Nah, I mean early on, especially the magnitude of what we talking about. Like for instance, if it's like directions to going someplace, you know what I mean? Yo, man, you want to make this turn right here? You don't know, man. You act like you've been here before. Nah, because I've been here before. I ain't tell you this is my first time going. I've been here before. I'm telling you this is it. Well, the GPS saying this. Cool. I ain't mad at the GPS. I'm just telling you. I've been over here, so right here to the right. And they follow the GPS. The GPS take them someplace else. I don't get up and start applauding. Yay, dummy. I told you it was the other way. Nah, I don't celebrate it. But in the same token, I do realize that people, once again, it goes back to sources. What's more credible? Before you had GPSs, you had maps. People trust the map. They get a map to their homeboy. Which way I got to go right here? You got to make a left.
Mm-hmm. It was maps first.
You know what I'm saying?
Then they went with MapQuest.
Right.
Remember we used to print out the directions before you went?
Yeah, all that.
Because remember having a TomTom made it seem like you had a couple of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I said but for every one of those inventions or every one of those changes, the credibility of a person was expected or respected less and less.
Yeah. In some cases, because you still had to have a mind, and that's what the person had to honestly follow the direction. Like you said, you just said a few minutes ago, you didn't become demented, but you didn't have dementia either, where you didn't realize which way to go.
Right. I'm trying to tell you.
That's
what winds up happening.
It really wasn't. Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, so we get caught up in and what a jewel is because of how it looks.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like, would you take advice from a boxer when it comes to boxing that got knocked out 5 times in 5 fights?
I would.
Would you? Yeah,
I would.
because why? Because at the end of
He
the day,
got
he's still a
knocked
what?
out.
Because
Still
at the end of the day, he's still a what?
a boxer.
Okay.
Right. It's just like
Okay.
it's just, but
You can
but
learn
jewels.
something from everything. A
Right.
jewel may come. You can learn something from everything. That's what makes a jewel.
So what we
a
saying is
jewel.
jewels are tied to respect, because people don't even like to listen to something they don't respect.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll give you a perfect example. Back when I was out there reading meters way back in the day, and I was doing this rap, was confusing me. And I was frustrated. Like, man, why is it doing this, doing that? God, you can tell he lived on the street. It's like, young brother, I don't know exactly what you're doing, but you can do it. That's why you're doing it. He said, just take a breath. Just take a break for a minute. Take a breather. I'm sure everything else will fall in line. And I wasn't that dude. He said, I ain't trying to mind your business. So I said, nah, you know what, sir? I appreciate that. Boom, then it fell in line. He told me to just, all he basically was telling me, chill out. Hey, young blood, chill out for a minute. You got to reset, regroup, get your mind right. But you got
What
some
you was doing? You was out there like checking with the vehicle.
Now I was reading meters
Okay.
and again, like kind of like what you were saying with the map quest. I mean, with the GPS, your machine is a map, but it was out of order back in the day. It went in the order the last person went. So like, if you walk, say you was reading, bro, you was going back and forth across the street. You went in It's going to follow exactly the way P did it last time 3 months ago. That's how it used to be back in the day. It was in that sequence mode of so. It will probably happen if somebody made a mistake, but I realized later they did something. They went out of a regular order that you would go because they was trying to detour me from walking a lot of dead space with nothing. So they was like, if you grab this right here, you ain't got to come back and get this. That's pretty much what it was. But at that time, I didn't know. So I got frustrated. And, I'm 19, 20. But, back then, we had 19, 20-year-olds that was, man, ain't nobody fucking ask you, man. You know what I mean? Seriously, though.
Nothing.
Seriously, though. Like,
ultra aggressive for nothing.
Yeah. And I never felt like that. Like, because, you could tell the man was down and out, but he had something to say. And at that moment, it was a jewel. It was exactly what I needed. And then, boom. 5-10 minutes later, after taking a little break and just getting my mind right, I was right back on track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is, man. But Jules, we did this episode for y'all to understand that pay attention, because every day God sends somebody to drop a jewel on you. The universe, whether you look, but I don't care what you believe in. It's something is coming to tell you something. Because sometimes people don't want to receive certain things. I've seen this, and I'm far from sexist, but I've seen this plenty of times where you have women that don't want to receive a message from their man because they don't want their man to feel like he was right.
Wow.
I've seen it.
Yeah, sure. Wow.
I think any man in a relationship has seen that.
Wow.
And then the homegirl or somebody may have came and said the same thing, and now they hear it. However, as a real man, you gotta take it back and don't get offended by it and say, yo, so you listened to it with such and such said it, but you ain't listened to it when I said it. No, in all actuality, because really what probably happened, because I'm not gonna say that a woman is never told, because for the women who watching, come on now, I got to do it one time, people, one time.
Clear it up for
the women who watching.
Right.
I'm not saying that y'all ain't never told y'all man nothing, then his homeboy told boom. And then right away, y'all definitely before us would say, well, Leonard told you, you heard me, but when I told you, you ain't hear me.
Oh.
Right? Y'all would definitely do that. However, let me tell you what it really is. When Leonard told him and he heard it for the second time, he like, damn, My lady just told me that. Now Leonard's saying that everything makes sense. God is trying to give me this message. He done sent it through my lady. He done sent it through Leonard. Two people that I respect.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right. Double L. Your lady
so when you go home, so that's why the man, when he goes home, he had make the statement, you know what, babe, you had said this the other day, but then Leonard turned around and said it. And the first thing y'all do, oh, so you going to listen to when Leonard said it, but you ain't want to listen to me when I said it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've experienced it. I'm laughing because
you gonna put something right there where you pointed at?
I feel like I ain't even do it.
Yeah.
What I was getting ready to say is I've been both guys.
Right.
So
both people.
So yeah, I've been Leonard and I've been the other person. I can't talk slick like I ain't never, act like I didn't understand when it was coming from one direction to another. I think that, listen, man, like you said, you were just, addressing the sisters on the situation, but
right.
Both ways. Like, once again, it seems to me like it's the source, and it's not so much the credibility of the source, and that's the hard part, is that you got people that have inner conflicts with a lot of different things for a lot of different reasons.
Right.
The problem with that situation is the jewel is always going to be the jewel. So so when it falls into, the rice bowl, so to speak, it'll never get lost.
Right.
Right? Like, it's always going to be what it is, right? So if you say something, Leonard says something, or if your lady says something and Leonard says something, it's always going to be perceived by whichever one said it last or said it first, that the one that came after them said it to you, and all of a sudden that you blocked them out of what they were saying.
Right. But see, that's the thing. When you said perceive, and you know me, I'm a person that understands that it's two sides to each perception. Because in all actuality, I am sitting here today and I'm saying to everybody, I didn't hear it when such and such said, whoever said it first and this and that, or because it came from that person, it became from that person. No, I super realized in life that it was all based upon the time. And in all actuality, once I realized how the universe worked, God kept bringing it to me. And I wasn't going to receive it until I was ready, which goes back to what I was saying. Like, I'm not going to make this statement because I don't feel like they're ready for it at the moment, right? But how about this? But let me tell you what's so funny about this, because I don't think that everybody thinks like me, right? So I can give you a perfect example. I'm at the job, and as you know, in certain professions, when you get a lot of overtime, it doesn't go towards your pension or your retirement plan, right? It just goes to your salary for that year, right? It's not pension. It's not towards your pension. Just extra for that pay period, whatever. So you see a lot of people who get it on a constant basis, and they live in this great lifestyle because they taking that bread and they spending it and they doing that. And I'm not telling them not to spend it. You could do all you want, but like I explained to you before, and like we spoke about before. I'm like, if they invest that money instead of blowing it into something else that's going to bring them more income, or even turn around and get themselves a Roth IRA for another form of retirement, because you got to realize, there's caps on that. So let's say I think it's 6,000 now if you want, on the other side of 50, on the front side of 50. So I need all this just to explain my point. They might be able to get that 6,000 in a month and a half to put in there, and they done for the year. So if they want to blow the rest for the year, then so be it. But if I come in and I'm saying that to him, you got someone to say, yo, he just hating because he don't get it like this, and he can't buy what I could buy, because they don't understand it. But everybody don't think like that.
Right.
But what a lot of people do think like is what you just said. It's the resource. So I had a conversation with one brother that I know had a better relationship with the other brother, and I said I would love to tell him this, but I want you to holler at him because he look up to you. I don't care where he get the message from. I just want him to be better for his wife and kids later on in life. Right. And if he understands this jewel, then it'd be good. Because I don't need the credit of dropping the jewel. Like I shared it with the first brother, and the first brother understood it and started to study. So now if he shares it with with the other brother, he gonna take it because it's coming from him. So what you're saying is absolutely correct. But in my case, I didn't accept the change in the understanding of the situation because of who it came from. It's just my soul was ready to receive it at that time.
Now I get it. I mean, that's what I
Yep.
say. Like that's why when I asked you the question about have you ever, like when I was just making the statement about the old head to go,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what,
you
young
right.
brother, go ahead and do it your way.
Right.
It's the same thing, right?
Yep.
In my opinion, it's the
Absolute. No,
same
it's
thing.
exactly the same. That's a great
Um,
example.
because you've said it, right, and you like, I, everything is pointing into the direction of this being something that could benefit you. So at this point, it's not the message; it's the recipient is not ready
Right.
or doesn't have the mindset, because that's what it really comes down
Yeah,
to.
mindset.
The mindset at that point. Like sometimes you could tell somebody something that's great at the wrong time.
Right.
And the information is powerful, it's great, but they're emotionally, like you say all the time, energy and emotion, they're
Mm-hmm.
emotionally invested in that moment into their feelings about, how they feel about the entire situation. Point being in that situation, or what winds up happening in that period is often the jewel gets pushed aside or put into that junk drawer, so to speak, until somebody says the same thing, and all of a sudden they go, I heard that before. It must be
Right.
it must be real. It must be true. It must be official because I heard that before. So in that case, like you said, they're in a better mindset at that point, right? Now they're ready to receive it a little bit differently
Mm-hmm.
because maybe they're a little bit calmer. Maybe it's a situation that's different. And like you said, I think that just comes with experience. I think that comes with you know a humanness that you got to fix and just deal with in reality.
It just came with the old school because like you said, it come with hey, like you got I don't know what a little old developed. But listen, man, that is not the switch on the jewels. I got a jewel for you. If you're looking for a good time, man, you want to have something, you're trying to plan something together, put something together to get along with your family, with people you like receiving jewels from, people you like sitting here and hearing things. You want to sit back, sip some of that iced tea like P doing right there, but you don't got the time to put it together or don't know how to. I got a beautiful company that can help you out. Check it out.
Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate. All right, got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked, and get it done. Back to the show. FNC events, baby. One stop shop for it all.
Yes, sir.
But nah, I mean, that's what it comes down to is just, sometimes some people aren't ready to receive the jewel. Like I said, it's shiny. It has a purpose. It's meant to help. And then sometimes the jewel also, though, the jewel, it could be a little bit different. I've been told that I talk a certain type of way, and I don't even hear it. You know what I mean? I've been
Mm-hmm.
told that, there's things that, you know, even though my intent may be good, my delivery is more impacting of why it's not being received in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also been on the other side of that where it's been the exact same thing, where somebody's telling me some valuable information, giving me some real insight on something, but I just don't like the way they talking to me. And so I'm more locked into that than to actually hear anything that's going to benefit me.
Right.
You know, so only thing I can say on that is that I hope that more often than not, the jewels are received, and whether they're utilized at that particular moment or something that gets put in the box, just be careful on the jewels that you push away because every jeweler ain't gonna keep bringing the jewels to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're gonna get to a certain point where you're gonna just look up and you're gonna be like, "Dad, you don't mess with me no more." It's not about me not messing with you no more, bro. Every time I talk to you, you know what I mean. You go and you you feel away about the things I'm saying to you because I won't support what you're doing. Later on you'll turn around and be like, ain't nobody even holler at me. That's crazy. Everybody, you supposed to be my bro. You supposed to be my homie. This, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you wasn't really ready to receive that. And then there's some
Right.
other things too, man. I'm gonna say this. I know this gonna sound a little bit deceptive, so let me work through it. Had a conversation with one of my homies, man, and he was just like, "Yo, do you share and have conversations? You share everything with your lady, with your wife?" And I said, "Nah." But it's a difference between me hiding stuff and not sharing stuff. I just want to
Right.
make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference between the two. You know what I mean? If I know that you're a person that worries about a lot of different things, and you could take something that's a level 3 worry and make it a level 9 worry, I may not say anything to you and just resolve the situation, not because I'm trying to keep it secret, but because I'm trying to protect that peace that you're trying to hold on to inside of you. So in
Right.
those cases, no, I don't share everything. That's not me keeping a jewel away from you. That's me realizing the impact of what it does and taking that jewel and keeping it for myself so I can learn how to be able to make that something that's a positive or a better situation for everybody else.
Right.
My homie looked at me and was just like, word? As if and I'm looking at him like, fam, yeah. Like, and then another one of my homies that was actually sitting there, same situation, married and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's not a situation of being deceptive. You know what I mean? But it is a situation you got to understand how, these things are going to impact certain situations. And you need to be smart enough or use your own jewels to everybody's benefit in that situation.
Right.
Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, we face things on a day-to-day basis, brother. Some people handle better than others.
Mm-hmm.
They just simply do. And
Yeah.
so for me to continuously bringing you something that I know is going to be problematic because it's a domino effect, I bring you something, it becomes an issue.
Right.
That issue then becomes becomes a overall issue and disturbs the entire house.
Right.
Guess what I'm gonna do at the end of the day? Guess what I'm gonna say? Literally,
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't even said
I
nothing,
shouldn't
man.
have said nothing. Should have kept it. Yeah, I done dropped that jewel on somebody before. You know what I mean? Told them, listen, mind your business on that situation, bro. I know you ain't like, cause every time we feel like that, we gotta share certain jewels that's not certain business that ain't even got nothing to do with us, and we think we putting people on. Some people might already know and just not explain it, just not conversing with you about it.
Right.
And then now that you bring it to them, now that they know that you know, they'll cut you off because damn, he know. And it's not that you did nothing. They embarrassed to be around you now because you know.
Right.
Everybody makes decisions. See, the problem is in life, man, as we're coming up, we go through this, and I think this is the early two things. I always bring this up because this is going to be like my episode jewel. My episode jewel that I'm bringing to a person for them to understand is two things. If you learn this about yourself early, right, is
Mm-hmm.
self-awareness, right?
Right. Right.
And when I say self-awareness, understand, really being aware of yourself. Know what pushes your buttons. Know how you usually react. Because we got go-to reactions. That's what builds our history and our credibility. Right? Seriously, because if I say this, I know how many times you done said, I knew E was going to do that, man, because that's my go-to of how I respond or how I move.
Countless times.
Countless times. And it's not,
Right.
and it necessarily doesn't mean everything is a bad thing. That's what we
Nah,
saying.
and it doesn't even make it predictable. It's
Right.
just we've had those experiences enough for me to think that this is how it would respond.
Right. So it's self-awareness, right? That's number one. And number two, understanding that the way you perceive things and your perception of things, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but just understand that's not the only way. Because a lot of people have the problem to think that their perception is the only way you can see something.
Exactly.
You know how many times, bro? Listen, we worked with a bunch of men, man, and you be in the office and you talking and especially most of the time, the biggest argument that a person may have in a sports situation, a lot of times, is perception of something, and it's a person's opinion of something, but their opinion is fueled by their perception. Like a great question. Shout out to my man Dre. Shout out to Herb. We was talking about high school basketball players right now. And he's
Dre
never
heard, what up, y'all?
he never really seen Bronny play. So he kept asking the question. I see him watching him and Herb go back. Nothing serious, but he like, Herb, forget the fact that he's LeBron's son. If he wasn't LeBron's son, would he go to the league? And I'm on the side saying, yeah. He's still in the top 100 players of the high school players. I mean, I'm not saying, and I'm like, he's not 99 or 95. No. He's up there. But the sad thing about it is we're going to always see him being compared to his father. So your perception either is going to be he the truth because he's the next version of his dad, or man, he ain't never going to be as good as his dad, so he ain't shit.
The measure sticks out.
It's going to always be out. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because of who he is. So I said, but here's something that we all know. You don't have to see a person play a full game. And I know you're sitting there watching highlights. Highlights is going to always show the highlights of a person's career.
Right.
But if you watch a person's highlights enough and you see the way they play the game, you know if they can play or not. So I pulled out some of Bronny's highlights. The man can play. It's that simple. Will he go to the NBA? Yeah. It's that simple. I'm serious. Like, he can play, man. Like, I think his Jimmy is better than his pops. His jump shot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He got a Jimmy.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, that was two of them in less than a matter of seconds.
Nah, I'm talking about the jump shot, man. Come on, man. If your perception is still going back to KRS-One and Scott LaRock, you know what I mean? Then you need to just grow up, man. Jump shot, man.
Go finish talking about his Jimmy. That's what he's talking about. Better than his dad. It's better than his dad.
Nah, that's a good one. You got me. You got me. Hey, I'll let you get that one. I'll let you have that, man. Nah. I fucked up, though. Yeah, but I'll let you get that. Yeah.
What they say about players eat players what?
Players fuck up, man. That's just what happens. Right. Yeah, that's what they do.
No, I think that you made a sound point to know that if you can see what basketball skills look like,
right?
You know, who his family is, it's just, right. I mean, that's a byproduct. Everybody got a mom and a dad.
Right.
You know, you had to get here some form of fashion like that, but
Drake.
The question is, do we possess this quality and ability, and you notice it? Absolutely.
Yeah. But Drake hit on the nail once he seen how he could play. He said just like I could tell as soon as a person when they throw their hands up if they can fight or not. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they won't get knocked out, but you could tell if a person can fight or not. So then I showed you the video when my man was like, I ain't got to be all up here. Look, remember P when he slid back and then he hit him with the
that left hand smack at the end.
Yeah,
it looked baby tap like.
Yeah, but
it pushed money right out the screen. But
quickly, I just gotta ask you this: did you ever? I sent it to you. See when the lady was about to blow the birthday surprise and the other lady smacked her in the face? I sent it to you a while ago. You ain't never see it?
Nah.
Oh, I gotta find it for you, man. I gotta find. I'm gonna send it. I gotta resend it to you. Yo, I said P never said that. He must not have seen it. Yo, when you see it, you will be in tears. Now, the perception of that, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't need perception. I can tell you about my self-awareness. Bitch, you hit me like that. The whole party fucked up. Because we end up tearing that room up. I don't give a damn how much of a surprise.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Look, I can understand you upset about it not to be, spoiled. It's like you said, spoil a surprise. That don't give you no right to smack me, man.
Right.
That don't give you no right to smack me.
But
since the smacking done started,
I need you to see this on air. I want everybody to see your reaction off this.
Yeah. It ain't as Jimmy, is it?
Put the camera on you, man. You an ass. You might as well get the this or that questions together while I get
I'm working on that, brother. I'm working on that. Oh man.
You said it ain't the Jimmy. It ain't as Jimmy, is it?
I
That's
hope not,
funny as
man.
hell, man.
Hobbs of the week if that's the case. Dang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just sent it to you on your Instagram.
Okay, I will check it out, brother.
I want to see. Can we check it out while you on air? I just want to see the people to see your reaction. Like if it, will it interfere?
We gonna find out.
We gonna find out. This is worth finding out. I sent it to you in your IG.
Okay. Yeah, y'all work with us over there in Radio Land, man.
Yeah.
Because this is going down, man. We got to figure out. Well, you know what? We only had a green light to really do that anyway. But I guess I don't know.
Now I think we can I think we can take videos from like social media.
Can we do that? I mean, I would love to be able to do that. All right, so we're gonna look right now though to see what this is. Hold on.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Hey yo.
Watch it one more time. Watch it one more time.
Yo. But where's the lady at?
Yeah. I don't know. And the lights come on. I don't know. I think she's somewhere crying. Happy birthday. Bye.
Yo. Oh man, I wish I could. Yo, we're gonna have to repost it on the
Porch podcast page.
On the Porch podcast. We'll do that, y'all, so y'all can check that out.
Happy birthday. Yo, come on, P. You ain't smacking me like that.
They better hope to God that the first thing to get cut is the birthday cake.
That's a jewel. That's a jewel for you. You smack me, I don't listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
You should chill. You're taking it too far.
Right.
So this week's questions, man. I felt like, episode 80, and we've been doing it for a while. It's just gonna be questions to ask. It's not gonna be a this or that. It's not gonna be a would you rather. I got some questions to ask, and we're just gonna do that, bro. I ain't got no title for it.
Here
you know what I
mean? Welcome to Questions Just to Ask. In episode 80, we decide to say we're just going to ask some questions. I want to know, and I'm going to ask some back. That's what's different about just something to ask, because I'm going to ask questions too. So let's get back to it. Let's go. Just questions to ask. P start off, and I'm going to we call this one tennis. We call this one tennis.
Okay, well, we're going to put a little spin on it this week, y'all. And we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to ask E some questions. So we're going to get the ball rolling. So what social stigma does society really need to just go ahead and get over, man? I know I seem like a broad question, but I want to ask you some real stuff. Like what social stigma? Like just a social thing. Just society in a whole at this point need to just get over it.
The importance of social media, but stop taking everything so literal on it. Okay. See, social media was created, and I'm using social media because you use the word social. Not because you use the word social. I'm just saying I use social media because a lot of people get offended by things that happen on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or Snapchat or Twitter, things of that nature. In all actuality, all these things were created to be the number one platform for advertisement now. We all pretty much watch streamed TV, whether it's on Hulu, Netflix, all these different places, right? Mm-hmm. And they always give you the cheaper version with the commercials, and they always give you the version that you can pay for with no commercials, right? They always give you that. However, a lot of people have the ones with no commercials, and even with the ones with commercials, it's only about 60 seconds of a commercial in between, right? So my point is, I'm saying all that to say, the business of commercial and advertising will never stop. So they took it to these social platforms. So they're going to always be there. But while you're there seeing that, subliminally seeing that, don't keep falling in line in the groove of the BS. If it don't apply, then let it fly. That's all.
That's true. All right, so what food have you never eaten
Pig feet.
but would really like to? No, let me finish the question. But would really like to try?
I can't think of nothing like that. I can't think of nothing like that.
I mean, it's a legitimate question because we know we haven't tried it, but you know how you hear about things.
Yeah. What about you? You got any food that you never ate that you would like to try?
So, I've never eaten caviar, but I'm not necessarily saying that I would need to try it. I just haven't desired it enough to try it.
Yeah, I don't want to try it.
And I think that there's probably foods that I have eaten, but just not have had them prepared different ways that I know about. You know, like there's certain fish and things of that nature. Like the guy was talking about, if you check out in the video that, we recently just released. But, so little fish and stuff like that, certain things like that. Okay, another one. Where are some unusual places that you've been?
Unusual. This is not unusual to be loved by anyone. None right off the head ring a bell, right? But I've been in different places. I've been to some crazy things, man. Like, and it comes from DJing or just being in the entertainment business. You know what I mean? I told you a lot of times, when you get into production, used to be an app out. It's probably still out. I ain't used it. Called Meetup, right? And Meetup was created to. It's pretty much, it shows a bunch of groups of things or things that you're interested in, like how Facebook got groups. So that's why I don't know how popular Meetup still is. But so let's say that you use a certain brand of production equipment for making beats, or like you use a certain thing to edit videos with, and you're in that group.
Right. Absolutely.
They'll turn around and they'll say, we're going to have, blase to the blizzy editing software meetup.
I know who the creator is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, B-Man. So, say we had they had, shout out to B. Yeah, happy born day, belated born day, 2 cars, you know what I mean? But anyway, so it'll say, okay, it's going to be in New York on such and such. You're like, all right. So you go, and then you catch the train, you get up there, whatever, you move around, you like, yo, this building look like it ain't even supposed to be, or it don't exist. And then you walk down a hallway. Now you reaching, because you like, okay. And hey, you here for the Blase to the Blizzy meetup? Yeah, come around here. And you come around, and then it's 37 people in there. Like, hey, man, yeah, I use this. And y'all just like, damn, how y'all find this room? That's how that shit
for
be.
that?
It was called Meetup. Yeah, it might still exist.
I hope not.
Yeah. No, everything wasn't like that. Everything wasn't like that. I'm just saying.
Because what you just described,
yeah,
that's a movie.
Yeah,
that's a horror movie. When you are old, right? When you get old, what do you think children will ask you to tell them stories about?
When I get old, just these times. Because if you don't understand, if you're reminded of history, a lot of times kids are going to be reminded of history in different times, or things might ring a bell that reminds you of history, and then you start talking about it, and then they'll turn around and say, well, what happened then? Like, I remember one time 9/11 came up, and my daughter was like, young, you was alive when that happened? I was at work when that happened. So, yeah, I was very much alive. Had bills and everything. You know?
Yeah. So they're going to want to hear about the present time, which makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
This one's a little technical, but I know you creative. You know what I mean? If you could switch 2 movie characters What switch will lead to the most inappropriate movies?
So take one out of one movie and put it in another one, and put the other one in the other movie.
Correct.
Boom. Let me see. Okay, you take. Nah, that shit'd be funny both ways. It wouldn't be inappropriate, but it'd be a different type of movie. They both be take Billy Ray Valentine,
Mm-hmm.
right, and switching with Ron Burgundy.
No.
Both of them would be funny as hell. Man. Could you imagine Billy Ray Valentine telling you the news?
Nah, no.
And Ron Burgundy in the stock room, and on Wall Street.
Nah. I can't wait to ask you this next one.
What's that?
What's the most epic way you've seen someone quit or be fired? The most epic way. It's like
Epic. I ain't never seen nobody quit, man. I ain't never seen nobody quit.
every time I think about the word epic, y'all, too, just to give y'all some history on
EPIC.
Me and E had a group called Epic. It was just us two. EPIC, E&P's Infinite Collaboration. Yeah, man, we had a podcast a long time ago. 'Cause that's all we was doing. Even when we was rhyming, we was still just talking slick.
Yeah.
So,
Name of the song was called Slick Talk.
so I'm not gonna say I saw something epic in the sense like I saw somebody pick something up and throw something across the room or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I did see one time though,
Yeah.
where a guy saw something when I was working in my line of work.
Yeah.
Big guy saw it and was like, "Yo," you know what I mean? Before that, you know what I mean? He's moving around, you know, he's cocky, you know, in the sense that he's just like, you know, he's got some size on him. Saw what we actually had to do, turned around and said, "Hey, yo, who up front do I get these keys to?"
And he left.
And he left. He went up there, word his mind. Got his key, gave his keys up, and never came back. I saw another dude, same thing, dieseled up. Oh, I know karate. I'm nasty standing. Okay. Homie saw something. Homie went on lunch break, didn't come back for 2 weeks, and then came back. And everybody's like, "Son, you went on break 2 weeks ago."
Oh, nah, okay. One epic way I remember. Dude left the office doing what I do. Went downtown to go drop off some important documents that had to go to, City Hall. Got on the radio, said he was leaving City Hall. 10 minutes later, he called us. "Come get the truck. I'm going to jail."
There you go, eh? I knew you had at least one.
So we heard the story. Once we talked to the cops, they said my man cops a rock. And they seen him. They pulled him over. He just pulled over. Tried to throw it in his mouth. Right?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Cop reached in, grabbed him by his throat. Spit it out. "Come get the truck. I'm going to jail." That's what he said on the radio.
Yeah, I don't care what the cause is. If somebody you roll out your window and somebody just grab you by your throat, it is a natural response
To go,
to get the hand. Now to go, whoop.
yeah.
And they got to come for the ride with you.
Yeah.
All right, which leads me to this question right after that. What's something that will always be in fashion no matter how much time passes? Go ahead and do it, eh?
Snapback, man. What you mean, clothes fashion?
Nah, just in life, period. What's something that will always be in fashion no matter how much time passes?
Powder?
Funnel cake.
Yeah. Man, that's this week. Just ask a couple questions, man. We know he getting the funnel cake, man. That was this week's Would You Just Ask a Question. Let's get back to the show, baby.
Oh, gosh, man.
Before we wrap this up, man, we want y'all to know, man, listen, this is episode 80, man. Episode 80, man, is Jules, man. Listen, man. Like, it's just been a jewel to be on this epic ride, man. You know what I mean? As you know, each and every Thursday, man, you can catch us on all your streaming podcasting sites like Stitcher, Red Circle, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Radio Public, you know, and Cocaine Island. So P, where can we actually catch?
Yeah. You can like all of them places except for the last one. I know personally you can go and get it.
Audible, iHeartRadio.
Yeah, there you go. You know, all of those places, each and every week, like he said on Thursday, it always hits the audible. The audio version of it will be available in the morning, and you know the video version of it will be on YouTube, released each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. As we say each and every week, man, you tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Once again, you know, this has been episode number 80.
Episode
Jewel,
80,
and I want to leave one as we get ready to go out the door one more time. I said it before and I say it again. Everybody wants to shine like a diamond until they find out what kind of pressure it takes to make one.
Exactly.
Take your jewels where you can get them, y'all. You know what I mean? Some days you're going to be the jeweler, and some days you're going to be the recipient of a jewel. Even if you don't know what it means at that point, put it in a box. I guarantee you that message will become clear at some point in time. And that's it for me, brother. I'm just glad to see that we had another week, man. We 80 episodes in.
Yes,
hey, man,
sir.
Please keep on rocking out with your boys. Look forward to seeing y'all next week.
This has been the Porch Podcast. We love y'all, man.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace.